In the bottom right, in the blue, he is for Storm Gaming. It's MaxPax. And in the upper left, in the red, the Big Gabe of the Big Gabe Weekly, HeroMarine. And yes, exactly, some Starcraft casting. It's a very exciting thing. Why is this being weird? Oh, that's why. I'll deal with that in a second. Thanks so much for the follow, the Conquer. But what is MaxPax doing right now? For now, Gateway on the low ground. That makes sense. Cybercore as well. HeroMarine on the high ground here. He's going for a Reaper expand, but he's playing a little scared. He really has not scattered out of the map whatsoever. And this is something that is somewhat typical of HeroMarine. He kind of has his builds, right? He has these ideas about how he wants to play, and he's going to play it, regardless of what happens. So sometimes that means you have to be a little bit safer, especially against a player like MaxPax, who has absolutely no qualms with, well, dropping whatever he wants realistically in your face. Dropping a gateway right in your natural. I mean, that's how he came up to power. But the cool storyline that we got here in this finals is, aside from me hearing really good things about the series in general, is that MaxPax and HeroMarine are arguably the best players in this matchup in Europe. MaxPax, of course, just won the Pigsty Invitational over Beyond, and that was fantastic. That means that he probably has the best PVT. Maybe Showtime has a claim to that, but I don't think so. And then HeroMarine, at least the pre-10-minute Terran player, he is probably the best TVP player in the world, at least in Europe, maybe even in the world. Now, once we go into mid-game and late game, maybe not. But like those first 10 minutes, those big gate pushes, I mean, it's hard to contest. So for now, Reaper shows up and is going to, do damage to the probe, but not going to get that much done. What are we going to see here? Is this... Oh, for now, really nothing super weird coming out of HeroMarine. He went Barracks, gas. And the Reaper's on the other side, adding in a Hellion as well. Do we have a full wall? Kind of. Now, this Adept for the moment is going to get low, but it's not going to go down. Not just target the Reaper. Jeez, MaxPax, but he's not going to get it. Not for a second. This Adept stays alive for too long, though. And that will force this out. I mean, the Hellion takes so much damage that it was not going to be able to dive in. It's got 2 workers. Yes, these games are from yesterday. And we'll be doing EPT Korea as well after this, the finals from that series. And that was on Saturday night. But okay. Banshee's on the way coming out of here. Marine Cloak as well. This is, I talk about nothing being too crazy, standard builds, non-standard builds. This is a build from HeroMarine that is actually pretty out there. We do not see Banshees in this matchup really at all. Although, as I see there's a tank on the way as well. And realistically, this is a somewhat early tank. You might expect to see a Cyclone first or something like that. But going tank first, this opens the door for a type of Marine tank, Banshee type of push. And that is something that HeroMarine has done quite a bit. But for now, as he drops a bunker on the natural, it does not seem that that's really what he's going to go for. Instead, Banshees go out, tanks sit there defensively, Marines as well. And HeroMarine is going to, well, move into the game a little bit more. But for now, do we have any detection? We don't. But War Prism on the other way, on the other side of the map. Now, 2 Banshees are going to dive in. One's going to, well, actually, sorry, Hellion finds the third base. Banshee's going to dive in eventually. But I'm kind of worried about HeroMarine right now. Yeah, sure, he's got army supply, but that's going to change pretty quickly. It's only 2 tanks. Banshees are not even arriving yet, because again, I guess HeroMarine wants to clump the 2 of them together. And with Blink done, these Stalkers are going to be a problem. But the tanks on the high ground are ready. Stalkers are in range. One Adept is going to get dropped on it. It wants to soak the shots, but it's not there just yet. Tank's going to take damage anyways. The Marines will continue to fall. And this concave that MaxPax says, I mean, this might just end the game. SCVs are going to have to get pulled. Marines continue to fall down. Tank on the low ground is not sieging up, not just yet. And the damage continues to pile in. 8 workers go down, and still no damage from the Banshee. It is still not there, and HeroMarine is dead. Game 1 goes the way of MaxPax. In the upper right, in the blue, he's up a game in this series off just, honestly, almost a build order counter. Certainly a response counter. It's MaxPax. And the bottom left in the red, down a game. Let's see what he has in store for us on Ancient Cistern. HeroMarine. And you know, I thought I had fixed things. I thought everything was good. And I am just a ghost. Now I'm not a ghost. Excellent. Well done. Look at how good I am at this production thing. We fix things immediately. This is the service that I provide. But for now, we saw HeroMarine game 1. He went for Banshee play. And it could have gotten damage done. There was not an observer by the time that the Banshee was finding its way across the map. MaxPax was wholesale committed into HeroMarine's main. The problem was he went Banshees. So that meant everything was, all of HeroMarine's tech was slower. So the 3-gate, the 4-gate blink, I didn't even check the blink pressure with the Warp Prism. And again, the fact that it's a Warp Prism means that it was most likely 4-gate. It just slew HeroMarine like some mythical monster. But HeroMarine, for now, he's going to open up pretty similarly to the way he did in game number 1. It's a Reaper expand, technically. But of course, with the command center on the high ground, this does slow HeroMarine down just a little bit. Tiny bit. MaxPax, though, for now, I mean, this is standard. Cybercore expand coming out of MaxPax. In game 1, we saw a quick blink, right? We saw him taking advantage of that timing. He did a great job. He killed his opponent. But I don't feel like we're going to see the same thing in game number 2. I mean, it's one of those things. You just don't want to do it over and over again. Add variety. It is, someone said, the spice to life. But more importantly, if you do the same thing over and over again, your opponent is going to start to get your measure and start to counter it a little bit more. But now Reaper's going to try to show up. Adept's already there, so 2 shots. Reaper won't fall. But hey, well done, MaxPax. Denying scouting. What is this probe doing on the other side? Proxy gate. Oh, gateway. I mean, I guess this makes sense. That's the timing, right? You go, we would have seen a proxy Stargate a little bit earlier. But this is just a gateway? Okay, it can go down. HeroMarine, though, greedy. Off the barracks, off the factory, he's got a 3rd command center on the way. So this is just about as quick as possible. And the fun thing about this build, we've seen some 3CC play coming out of Terrans somewhat recently. Beyond has been doing it maybe once every 20 games. He'll go barracks, command center, extra barracks. So the third command center gets started at like 220, 230. It works out for him pretty well. But HeroMarine is going tech off this 111 off the 3CC play. So I'm really curious to see what HeroMarine is going to be able to do defensively against this 3-gate pressure. Now, there is no tech, not for a while. The Twilight is much later than it might otherwise be. This is just a quick 3rd gateway as the Cyclone knocks the Adept down. So how much does MaxPax choose to commit to this? He's warped in 3 Stalkers. Right, he's going to be able to make that happen. So the Stalkers on the low ground, for now, they're just denying mining. They're going to force Marines to sit on the high ground for a little bit. Cyclone's going to look for a lock-on, but realistically, it should not be able to just sit there and get the damage done. Stalkers poke it out. And until there's a tank, so there's the tank. And that really should force this back from MaxPax. MaxPax kites backward. The hull damage on the Stalker they got locked onto, but now with the tank here, you can find your way around the mineral line, maybe kill a couple SCVs, but at the end of the day, this is going to have to be the end of it. Now, 1 Stalker does fall. Cyclone has to micro backwards. Kind of caught behind a little bit, but even still, good lock on right there. So many Stalkers are going to go down. MaxPax gets punished for his aggression. And this is not really going to work out for him. The last Stalker falls as well, and even as 3 more Stalkers warp in. It gets the Cyclone, maybe. I don't think that is worth it. Not at all. Meanwhile, Reaper on the other side, has it gotten a kill? Yeah, it looks like it got a probe. But that's just a scouting opportunity. So now, what has HeroMarine seen? Well, he hasn't seen the Twilight, but he's kind of seen everything else. He saw this. He saw the Robo on the way. He has a solid idea of the timing of that, and it's unlikely that given the timing of the Robo, that MaxPax is doing anything other than a Blink Stalker opener. So HeroMarine has a pretty solid idea of what's happening. You're not perfect, sure, but he's got a pretty solid understanding of things. So more Stalkers, though, they're getting ready. Blink is done in 6 seconds. Adept is going to shade forward first. Is looking to tank that shot, but not yet. Now HeroMarine. He's getting ready. Is MaxPax going to find the value he's looking for? I don't know yet. But I'm excited to find out. So, a RoboBay on the way behind this. And an eBay goes down here as well. So HeroMarine is bunkering up. Well, he's got one bunker, but he is building Fortress Terran here on Ancient Cistern. Because remember, it was like a 230 third base. HeroMarine's economy is going like gangbusters for the state of the game right now. He's equal on the Protoss economy. So yeah, MaxPax, you can put pressure on all you want. HeroMarine lost like one SCV from the Stalker pressure. He's not upset about that. He's very happy about that one. That is a trade that you are absolutely willing to make. And the longer this goes, I mean, HeroMarine, he's adding those extra barracks now. He's going up to 5. He's got tanks. He's got 3 tanks in the natural. Raven's getting added. His army is getting in a better and better position to be able to hang on. But for right now, Stalkers, they're in the main. Tanks on the low ground, though. They get good shots. Marines in the high ground. Well, they have to defend this stim. So another tank seizes up, and that's going to force these Stalkers back. MaxPax does not find the type of value he's looking for once again and again. Yes, he's expanding. Yes, he's developing his tech and his economy. But HeroMarine has the same probe count. This economy it's especially once HeroMarine takes this third base, is gonna favor HeroMarine pretty drastically. Go away. There we go. So now Stalkers, they're gonna run for it. If they can get the Raven, oh, that'd be really nice. But for now, the tanks siege up, and HeroMarine, it's the slow push. He's just moving forward and further on the map. He wants to be able to get this third base because, again, as much as I've been praising his economy, I mean, it's absolutely bonkers how much money he has right now, or how much money he theoretically has access to. He's still pretty oversaturated on the natural. Well, until right now, because a bunch of SCVs got pulled over. But you need to be able to make use of the money. I mean, he was oversaturated by about 20 workers on his main and his natural. That's not really where you want to be. You want those SCVs to mine actually efficiently. So now HeroMarine, he's got his 67 workers. He's got his third base. Charge is done for MaxPax. But I'm put to mind of TY back in the day, or yeah, TY is probably a really good example. Who, you know, given games like this, he would just sit back, defend, get an absolute crap ton of tanks. We're looking at 4 tanks right now. And tank production has stopped, so HeroMarine is not going to quite go to those extremes, but he's not going to have much of a timing for a while. When you sacrifice, when you go for this build, especially when it is a 1-1-1 on the opener, not the 3 racks, 3 command center build that Beyond's been playing, it takes a while for your tech to start developing to the level that you would like it to be. Is now dropping the left side, is going to knock this gateway down once again, while the pylon follows, and now the gateway will go down as well. So no more warpins there. MaxPax on the right side. Okay, just a couple zealots waiting for their opportunity. But I don't know that I really like MaxPax pushing in here. I mean, not really. And that's okay. That's not a warp prism. I mean, this is a well-defended Terran. So instead, I much prefer MaxPax going double forge, getting all your upgrades, going up to 4 or 5 bases, finding the value. But no, MaxPax pushes in. He gets a tank to start. But now HeroMarine unsieges. Flanks coming in from multiple sides. Is he going to be able to snipe this down? 1 Colossus, 2 Colossus get disabled. 1 is still firing. The one on the high ground, though, was saved by the Warp Prism and the Force Fields. They force HeroMarine back. It looked like it was going to be a fantastic flank. It really did. But instead, MaxPax wiggles on right out of there. Does not lose a single Colossus. Really didn't lose much of anything. And it was a bunch of Marines for HeroMarine falling. At the end of the day, kind of equivalent. One way, we're 200 minerals apart. You know, that was not a disastrous fight. It was not a winning fight. But given the setup there for HeroMarine, it very much could have been. So MaxPax. Now he is on double forge. 2-1 on the way, adding an Archons, which tells us he does want to push here. He doesn't want to push this advantage. But he's got a 5th base on the way as well. So he's got that economic development. He's got that backup available to him. Even if he will struggle for a moment, is a bit of an interesting opportunity here. The army of HeroMarine kind of split up. Raven will fall. Now that's a dead disruptor, though. You don't really want to lose that. But getting a Raven is going to be kind of nice in the exchange. What is this? The Liberator on the other side? No, random Widowmine runs in. And, okay, that's going to get dealt with before it gets a second shot off. And it's kind of funny. So much has been told to me of this game about how good it is that I'm just kind of waiting on bated breath for it to get good, because right now this has been a very defensive game from HeroMarine. As the drop now into the natural. Widowmines are going to try to burrow. 2 more workers go down. And the main, is there anything more? No, there are cannons there. So, well, there's no cannon in the natural, actually. But in the main base, the Widowmine should not find its value. In the natural, though, Stalkers. Are they going to get it? Yeah, they're going to get it. No shot goes off. Do they get the Warp Prism or the Medevac? No, they do not. But now, MaxPax solidly on his 5 bases, 78 probes. But he really hasn't been able to get much economic damage done to his opponents. Zealot's going to run forward, eat a Widowmine shot. Friendly fire's nice. But HeroMarine has been just untouchable here. MaxPax keeps trying to find his way in, but he's just not finding value anywhere now. HeroMarine swings forward, gets on top of 1 Colossus. Is it going to go down? It's still alive until the very last It's still alive. Okay, last second shot for the Vikings on the other side. Knock that down. Disruptor, though, HeroMarine splits impeccably against it. Another Colossus will fall. And this is exactly what you don't want if you're the Protoss. You've had this economic position all game, and you lose all your tech. So now MaxPax is going to have to retreat away. Two Disruptors on the way at a time. But these Colossus have found pretty much null value in the exchange. Another Disruptor will fall. And this is MaxPax's timing, theoretically. This is when he's up an upgrade. So all of a sudden, HeroMarine puts himself in a pretty solid position in this game. Zealots on the counterattack. They're not going to get all that much. Get a Marauder, maybe they get a couple Marines, but no economic damage. And MaxPax, you know, we were talking about how even it was, about how 200 minute or resources lost separate the two. It's now 1,000 in HeroMarine's favor. Of course, MaxPax is going up to his 6th base. So from that perspective, I mean, MaxPax is absolutely bleeding money out of every orifice. He's got so much money in this game. But he's not really building the bank. Not just yet. And he's only on 11 gateways, which sounds like a lot of gateways. I get it. But I feel like if you're going to be on 6 bases to the 4, like if you're going to go this low, middle tech, I guess, as a Warp Prism gets itself in a bit of an awkward position there. Disruptor shot. Not going to find anything. If you're going to play this, ooh, nice connection there on the Ghosts now, getting even more. There we go. Hey, MaxPax starting to find the value that he wants on top of things, but now you stim on top here, Marine. Got to be a little bit careful. MaxPax on the left side. Charge Lot Blink Stalker Disruptor is the name of the game here. And he's got, oh, these tanks are so exposed. So a couple tanks will go down here. Marine trying to find the splits that he needs. He got a couple disruptors, I think. It's been 4 dead, but it seems like MaxPax got the rest of it out. And now there's no detection. So this Widowmine might cause a little bit of challenge, but hey, disruptors, they kill that regardless of their detection status. But again, if you're going to play a game like this as MaxPax, middle tech, charge lot, Blink Stalker, disruptors for the splash, you want to have a ton of gateways. So MaxPax now is on 11. He's going up to 14. That's a little bit closer. Because, yeah, can you produce off of... Well, hold that thought, because big fight moves in. Zealots are getting a little clumped up here. And the splits, the concaves from HeroMarine are honestly so fantastic. Disruptors are not finding the value they want. And again, MaxPax is going to get shoved back. That's a nice disruptor shot on the follow-through. MaxPax, he wants to find more, and he's not getting it just yet. And again, are you going to be able to produce on... Oh, I thought those gateways would be done by now. Are you going to be able to produce on 14 gates, on 20 gates consistently? No. But you're going to be building a bank. You're going to going 1,000 minerals, 2,000 minerals, and you want to be able to spend it at once. You want to have those reinforcements because the Terran is relying on their production coming in from their base. So for now, the Zealots are going to run forward, knocking down a missile turret. Oh, not even going to get that. And MaxPax is forced out. Meanwhile, Widowmines on the other side. MaxPax is doing such a good job here of making sure Widowmines don't find value. But HeroMarine's going to try to trigger things as MaxPax is potentially distracted. Disruptor gets tagged. Disruptor gets tagged. One's going to fall down, making a second one as well. So MaxPax looks for the re-engage. He's not going to find it. That's a massive shot, though. And that's an even nicer as well. So MaxPax can potentially re-engage here, especially with this last shot. MaxPax counters. But HeroMarine, he's got to back the hell right on up. And this is what we're talking about. MaxPax wants to be able to jack that supply back up to 200 immediately on every trade. HeroMarine won't be able to do so. He's sitting on how many? Only 8 barracks right now. 1 factory, 2 starports. Interesting. But he's only on one. He does not have a ton of production structures. With disruptor shots go massive, but you got to be careful about the zealots. You don't want to do the friendly fire there. So now MaxPax, he's up 30 supply. Army supplies are equal, but he's up 30 supply. He's equal on upgrades. And this is where you kind of want to be as MaxPax. You're trading. Your supplies are staying consistent. You're on 93 probes, and you're forcing HeroMarine to write a check he cannot cash. So for now, disruptor shots go out. They get another Widow Mine. And we don't have building armor, by the way. +3 armor even for the Terran's not done. So it's fairly easy to bust these planetaries down, as now DTs are going to run on in. And there is no DT Blink. There is no Shadow Stride. Not just yet. The repairs are going to be good enough. HeroMarine, the full hug of life, and it seems like it will be. Because if you don't run in like that, or if you do run in like that, the Planetary Fortress invariably kills a DT. And then you lose out on it. So the math's not quite there. But the hug of life while HeroMarine stays alive. Disruptors, they're not going to send their shots out until right now. And hey, that's a third of the hit squad coming out of HeroMarine. So now MaxPax, he's emboldened to move forward. But these minefields are such a problem. And now MaxPax runs forward here, gets on top of the planetary. This time, disruptors, their job is to kill the SCVs. Oh, the disruptor shot as well, forcing the pickup. So this should be a dead base. HeroMarine, he's trying to keep it alive so desperately, and it seems like he will once again. These planetaries are just not going down, and HeroMarine, he's got a counterattack on the other side. All the damage that he's not taking, he's going to enforce it. So MaxPax loses a base for the first time in this game. HeroMarine keeps his bases alive. And HeroMarine is playing this impeccably well. Now, when people told me that this was one of the best games of the year, I was expecting chaos, madness. The type of game where both players forget that they're supposed to defend themselves, and it's just haymaker after haymaker. But instead, it is just HeroMarine playing one of the most precise pinpoint. As another Nexus goes down, one of the most clean TVPs I have seen in a long time. Taking absolutely no damage, not losing a single Nexus to all the attempted run-bys, and just being exactly where he needs to be at every time. You know, being where defending where he needs to be, attacking where he needs to be, really not taking minimal damage from the disruptors. Yeah, you know, he ate a shot here or there, but it's really not like it has not been game ending. It has not been game deciding. So HeroMarine is playing clean as hell in this game. He's killed 21 SCVs, MaxPax on 93, or 21 probes. MaxPax on 93 no longer. His economy down to Nexi. And HeroMarine seems destined to get another here, stemming up onto the high ground. But MaxPax does have an army in tow. So HeroMarine's going to have to back up on this one. Stalkers, can they blink forward? No, they blinked earlier. But again, HeroMarine now, he's got two armies on the map here. He's going to try to find this right side base. Now Colossus joins the fray, and that seems like this is not going to be nearly as effective, but he fights through anyways. Meanwhile, MaxPax cannot poke in on the left side. I'm sorry. This is on a replay. It's on the old version. I cannot have picture-in-picture. It's really unfortunate. But now, 11 more probes are going to hit the deck. MaxPax, he's reeling. He really never built that bank. He's got 1,600 gas, I guess, but he's lacking minerals. He's mining almost a full 1,000 minerals. 2,000 minerals, excuse me. Less than the Terran is at this point, so it's full Hail Mary counterattack on the other side. MaxPax continues to lose his economy, but he's got a bunch of Colossus, a bunch of Stalkers, 3-3-1 on the upgrade. So if he can find this fight, maybe, just maybe. Stalkers blinking forward. Bunker's gonna go down. EP's on the army, and HeroMarine is just splitting impeccably here. Disruptors are getting like one unit at a time on the backside. He targets that one as well. Disruptors, they get split against once again. That's gonna be a nice shot here, but this concave, this full surround coming in from HeroMarine is marvelous. And yes, 15 SCVs have gone down, but MaxPax has lost everything. That shot, though, that shot might make a difference. And now he's going to try to get on once again. This is engaged. Yeah, HeroMarine. He's not going to chase any further. And are there still Colossus in this army? I think so. Running. No, they're not. Those are Blink DTs. Okay, that's a lot of Dark Templar. 9 DTs blink on top, trying to get on top of this army. Scan's a little slow. Disruptor shot's going to go out. Okay, split the pickup. HeroMarine saves that one. The problem here is the army supply, a lot of it's in production right now for HeroMarine. It's not really there. MaxPax is starting to punch on through just a little bit. The orbital's going to start to fall down. DTs are still finding value. And HeroMarine, he has got scans, but he's not spending them. Not right now. 8 more workers are going to go down. MaxPax, he took so much damage, but he's starting to fight his way back into this game just a little bit more. A lot of the supply is medevacs. We're looking at 12 medevacs on the field. That's 24 army supply right now that does not fight. So HeroMarine in the army that matters is down 20 army supply, and MaxPax is coming roaring back into this game. HeroMarine played impeccably. The cleanest PvT I've ever seen, or at least for quite a while, for the first 18 minutes. And then MaxPax understands that this is a problem, understands that he has one opportunity, and it is winning the game right now. So he's YOLO across the map here. Army supply is still equal. These Archons are starting to fall. You got to bring the High Templar up. You got to bring every army into the main base right now, because if MaxPax finds that, if he camps this economy, maybe that's going to do it, but he does not punch through. Barely doesn't micro enough. Barely doesn't punch through. And HeroMarine ties the series up. In the upper right, in the blue, tied up in this. Oh man, what a game 2 was. He almost had the comeback. Almost made it happen. It's MaxPax. And on the bottom left, in the red. Oh, impeccable game 2. HeroMarine. It is so hard to break what HeroMarine was doing. Not impossible, certainly not, but that's a pretty hard thing to break. So I kind of like the way MaxPax approached it, right? Just take the entire map, start hoovering up the minerals on the map, the gas on the map at a inhuman rate. But the problem there, of course, is he didn't really find the value on those outlying bases. If anything, I would have liked to see him scout better, I think, number one, to kind of get a solid understanding about what his opponent was doing. And then B, I want to see him, I almost feel like I want to see him expand even quicker. To go up to 5 bases when HeroMarine is on 3. There are, 7 bases that you can take on Ancient Cistern. I want to say it's a 7 base, a 14 base map. It might be 8, it might be 16, I forget. Regardless, take them all. Take them by the 10-minute mark. Go omega greedy, because HeroMarine is, by how greedy he was and by how kind of how much pressure MaxPax's build put him up on, opened up with, it was going to be difficult for HeroMarine to exist on the map for quite a while. So take advantage of that timing and then start to flood blink DTs and charge lots everywhere as the Terran tries to take their 4th and 5th base. Because, of course, the way this works is, yeah, breaking a 3-base Terran with good luck. Breaking a 4-base Terran, not easy, but a little easier. And then once they go to 5-base, they have a 3-base line, right? Is how Ancient Cistern works, and they've kind of they have this full front they have to defend. Well, that's when life gets more interesting. That's when you can start to try to dissect a Terran player. Huh. I was wondering why I got a Discord notification, and, well, actually, we're not going to talk about that. That's fine. That's not relevant to the cast. What is relevant is a Robo on the way, 2 additional gateways on the way, Blink halfway done. And MaxPax, well, it seems like it's going to be 3-gate Blink coming out from the man, which is honestly pretty standard. 3-gate Blink openers, 3-gate Blink openers. They keep you safe against a lot. They give you aggressive potential if you want to go across the map and punish, say, a Banshee opener, like we saw MaxPax, or we saw HeroMarine go for in the first game. So that is certainly value that you can find. But for now, well, Cloak, as I was going to say, yeah, Cloak's halfway done. Banshee's on the way. So MaxPax may have the potential to punish this once again. Game 1 ended pretty quickly. HeroMarine didn't even use those. He didn't even use the Banshees he had. He ran across the map and, well, kind of stalled out. He stalled out. He forgot about the Banshees. He had to defend against this heavy pressure, and it really did not work out. So again, what has MaxPax seen in this game? What is he aware of? He saw, okay, command center on the high ground that turned into low ground 1, and that is about it. So any sort of the decision to get really aggressive here off the Warp Prism, the read is basically on the idea that HeroMarine built a command center on the high ground. Is that, ooh, he's gonna get a, well, he's gonna get a Hellion here. Is he trying to pretend he does not have blink? I think he might, because it would have been very easy to go and just kill the Hellion and do that. But I think he's trying to hide that he's got blink here. But now more Stalkers warping in. It's not a 3-gate, it's a 4-gate. I'm sorry. Bunker is just about done. Stalkers blink forward though. There's a tank on the high ground, and now MaxPax, he's got to be a little bit careful. The Banshees know that they have counter pressure that they can go find. So now Stalkers into the main base here. What do we have? Is that an adept? It is. Okay. MaxPax has been loving this against tank idea. Normally you would put a zealot in, but the adept is, it's a little bit more maneuverable. You can get a little bit more separation. So for now, we're gonna see the supply depot go down. That's step 1. You kill the supply depot and you go from there. Of course, on the other side, Banshee's finding value. And do we have an observer? Where's the observer? It's on the other side of the map. It's getting recalled. And this is what HeroMarine wanted to do in game number 1. The Stalkers, they don't need all the attacks get disjointed, so the observer comes home, but this Banshee is getting game-ending damage. MaxPax was not ready for this whatsoever. HeroMarine remembered that he had Banshees this time. Is MaxPax? He's not even gonna get the 1. So at this point, 19 probes have gone down, but MaxPax, you know, he almost brought the game back last time. On the all-in, let's see if he can do it here. Once again, bunker on the high ground, bunker on the low ground. MaxPax is looking for an angle where the tank cannot shoot. So Stalkers blink in as the tank unsees. Worst possible timing, but the tank's not going to go down. Not just yet. MaxPax locked into a choke. Into this meat grinder. Tank is going to go down, but the Stalkers, they're so low, and MaxPax has to reset. He's got to warp in more Stalkers here. SCVs are going to get pulled off, and the Stalkers, they're just starting to die. Warp Prism. Oh no, MaxPax, you overplayed your hand in the extreme. This is not good. A Raven will fall, sure, fine, but SCVs are going to lock the Stalkers in, taking more and more damage from the tanks, from the Marines, and sure, 9-10 SCVs are going to hit the deck, but HeroMarine is still equal on workers. He's ahead on workers to MaxPax, and he can run back in with those Banshees as well, by the way. This is a, oh no, Banshees go home actually. They're just going to kill all the Stalkers. That's fine. A disaster for MaxPax. How does MaxPax come back into this game is the question we need to ask ourselves now. It's not easy. Not at all. He's taken how many probes? 19 probes have hit the deck. He is equal on workers with the Terran. Oh, and by the way, Stim's not done, but these Banshees can still find value. They one-shot probes even through some sort of shield battery, and there's no detection here at this third right now. There's no observer, so 4 more probes are going to hit the deck. Where's the observer? Rotates on over, and MaxPax, he gets damage on a still doesn't kill it. Okay, there we go. He gets a Banshee down, but there's still no shield battery, so this is going to be 2 more dead probes before the eventual cessation of hostilities. Not even. There we go. Now the Banshee's dead. So now HeroMarine. By the way, HeroMarine behind this, he had a pretty quick third base. He went double E-base, so he went kind of greedy off this Banshee opener. So MaxPax, not only is he getting punished by losing 25 probes, he's also getting punished by the fact that HeroMarine's 3CC 8 minutes and 20 seconds in, and he's got +1, and not quite, but he's gonna have +1 in stim in just a second, or +1, or sorry, 1-1 stim combat shields in just a second here. That is an army that MaxPax quite simply will not be able to handle, so he's counterattacking. He's trying to keep HeroMarine back on his heels as long as possible, but HeroMarine doesn't give a damn. He's on the other side of the map. And if the Stalkers are on MaxPax's side, well, now they're going to have to recall. Shield battery goes down instantaneously. MaxPax with the triple G taps out. And HeroMarine takes that momentum from game number 3, from that impeccable play, and just slaps MaxPax aside. He goes up 2-1. In the bottom right, in the blue, he's down a game in the series, trying to swing that momentum around and not lose only his 5th PVT in the last 20. It's MaxPax. And the upper left in the red. Up 2-1. HeroMarine. And what was the actual number? Yeah. MaxPax has only lost 6 of his last 20 PVTs. So, ideally, this is not going to be the 7th. And yeah, you know, the game 2 was a fantastic game. 2 was a technically impressive game. Probably the most technically impressive game that I've seen in quite a while. But I don't, when I'm looking at a game of Starcraft, I don't judge it on, oh wow, this game is real. Like I don't judge the quality. Like let me rephrase that. I don't say a game is very good or not based on how clean it is. It's any sport, regardless whether it is tennis, whether it is Starcraft, whether it is baseball, whether it's football, American or international, whatever it is. It's not defined by the high level of skill. I mean, it is. You want to watch the best players compete. But what separates a good game from a great, or a good contest, a good competition from a great competition, a good individual game from a great individual game, is not both players playing technically perfect. Yeah, that's cool. Especially, you know, in baseball, people will freak out over a perfect game when like no base runners are allowed by a pitcher or something like that. But realistically, the games that just kind of live on in memory are because of forced errors, forced and unforced errors. You play at such a high level that probes get pulled off. KD8 charge doesn't find value. Nice job there, MaxPax. Dodges the grenade. But the game is so compelling and it is so exciting because these players are playing at such a high level that they are forcing mistakes that we wouldn't normally see, that we would not expect that out of the players. Because they are playing so well, because they are forcing so much around, is hey, Adept will go down. Well done, they were here, Marine, denying some of the map control that MaxPax is looking for. At least that's my opinion. When I rank games on whether they're good or not, again, if it's just 2 players playing perfectly, that's honestly not all that exciting. But it's when they start forcing errors from their opponents and they're not allowed to play perfectly. That takes a good game, where they're both playing perfectly, it's kind of cool, into a great game or an all-time game. But for now, Reaper now into the main is going to get a probe. It does. Stalkers get forced to warp in here. And MaxPax probably one of those Stalkers anyways, but maybe not at this right timing. And meanwhile, into the natural. Was that Hellion? Yeah, Hellion drives in the natural, gets a couple more probes. So HeroMarine continues the momentum. He continues to find the value, continues to find the pressure that he has been able to find over the last several games. I mean, I guess game 2, it was just absolute impeccable defense for a solid 15 minutes. MaxPax had there was no way for him to find any way in. But MaxPax on the count, he's just 4-gate blinking once again. It worked for him in game 1. It did not work for him in game number 3, and really, that was more because not that he couldn't find value with his 4-gate, but he had to go home. He missed out on the timing because Banshees were getting so much damage. But this game, well, there's nothing there. This is a 2-1-1, a 3-1-1, something like that. So it's going to be your standard defensive Terran against MaxPax's 4-gate. And while MaxPax is normally a player that has a lot of variability in his builds, this series, that has not been the case. So 4 more Stalkers are going to warp in. MaxPax getting ready to find his way into the main. And there he goes. Now, damage on the barracks for now, but they're already tanks set up defensively. HeroMarine had that one Marine on the corner, so he was aware of where his army needed to be. But MaxPax blinks on top of the tank, gets one. Raven gets killed as well. Eventually, there we go. Auto turret gets dropped, really minimal value. Viking trying to zone this warp person out, but it will go down. And all for the cost of 2 Stalkers. This is a much better position for MaxPax than it was in that first game. What is that? Okay, I thought it was 3 dead Stalkers. 4 dead Stalkers, they go down. MaxPax gets a tank, he gets a Raven, he gets some Marines. Now into the high ground, he's going to find himself once again. Still, there's that one tank, and this SimCity from HeroMarine is excellent, by the way, but if MaxPax can punch through, if he can get that tank, that stim is rife is absolutely right for the pick. And so he's going to get on top of the tank. That's one. The Marines, are they going to be able to stay alive? MaxPax trying to form a miracle with his micro, but there's just not enough here. All of the Stalkers will go down, save one that escapes in the 4 in the Warp Prism. But the Warp Prism taking damage earlier means MaxPax cannot hang around. So yes, 2 tanks have gone down, but the Marines, they output so much damage, and Stim is going to stay alive, it seems. At least for the moment. So MaxPax is thinking about re-entering once again. 8-8. Just 8 Stalkers in the main base now. And that does not seem like it is nearly enough. So 4 Stalkers blinking on the left side. One-shotting SCVs as they can, but tank covers most of the mineral lines. That's actually really nice positioning. Stalkers, though, they still find some value. So 4 workers will go down. That's heavy damage. 2 of those Stalkers are very low. And now into the natural, but there's 1 tank there. There's soon going to be a second missile turret as well. And by the way, HeroMarine is going, he's got a timing on this. This is a 5 Rex. He's going all in on the successful defense here. The pressure that he's going to find. And Warp Prism is going to go down as well. So MaxPax loses out on every aggressive option that he may have had. And, you know, for a brief moment, it was looking good. You know, he blinks on top. He gets the tank. But just not enough Stalkers. Not really. The Marines, they did too much. MaxPax did not respect the Marine count nearly enough. And now the Stalker's counting backwards. MaxPax desperately buying time. Charges about 20 seconds from completion here, but it's 3 tanks. Stim is done. Combat shields, it's a little bit further away, of course. But Stim, done. +1, done. 4 tanks. And HeroMarine, he's not even moving across the map with that big bulk of his force right now. He knows MaxPax is trying to meet him in the middle of the map, so instead, he's going to run across the map eventually, but it is a double drop. 16 Marines into the main, distracting MaxPax at the worst possible opportunity. MaxPax has nothing here. 16 Marines are going to drop on in. Probes are going to fall like flies, and this buys the opportunity for HeroMarine to run through the front. So now all the Stalkers, all the Chargeless, they have to run in, but the Sim City is not going to favor MaxPax here, as now HeroMarine kites behind the mineral line. Zealots are going to fall, and all this does, 11 probes have died. That's fantastic. But even more than that, look at what this has done for HeroMarine. It has given him an uncontested shot across the map. Now his tanks are seized up on the high ground. Stalkers are falling. And yeah, the tank positioning is not perfect. It doesn't quite cut off the main or the natural in the third the way he would like, but even still, the Zealots run forward, and MaxPax has nothing. All of a sudden, probes are starting to fall. This 5 tank force against, what, 2 charge lots? HeroMarine defended impeccably. MaxPax was not prepared for the 5 racks follow-up. And HeroMarine turns it all around after a kind of a dodgy game number 1. He plays a perfect game number 2. Game number 3, the aggression is there. Game number 4, it just hits even harder. And there is nothing doing for MaxPax anymore. HeroMarine takes yet another big game weekly. And I want to say this is not 2 in a row, but this is 2 in the last 3. Well played, Gabe. And if you like this, you want to see more StarCraft action, drop a sub to my YouTube channel. If you're watching this on YouTube, you should do that because StarCraft casts 6 days a week. And if you want to get caught up on all the news, everything that's happening in the StarCraft scene, 90s News Network, most Sundays, almost every Sunday. Thanks so much for watching, though. Catch you next time.